Fushang, Wuliang, Tianzun, my dear Dao friends from all around the world. Happy to have another Dao Talk Live today. I just call it Daoist Lifestyle, and not because I didn't come up with something better, but I was thinking about to tell you a little bit about the daily Daoist life in my experience, and also what I experienced when I live in China. I lived in China for over 10 years, and also long time in temples or like schools or like together with Shifu. And I would like to tell you a little bit more about the experience of a daily Daoist life. Hey, ni hao, Tsibei, my dear friend from Switzerland, Fabrice. Thank you for joining us. It's already a little bit late. I was busy the whole day since the morning. We were training and teaching. Today was intensive class. And after this, I had a lot of work to do. We were setting up the study room for next week. And next weekend, we also prepare, like today, we make a little practice for Daoist ceremony with my students. Some of them, they need to be prepared for a performance or for a ceremony. They need to perform with me together for next weekend. Yeah, for the 21st, we have also the morning, noon and afternoon, evening ceremonies. It's gonna be a full day. And also we have a little Christmas get together for all the students here in our classes, and we invite everyone around the world to join us. Also, we're gonna make a live stream if it's possible, because I don't know how the internet is at the altar hall, but we're gonna try it, and we hope you can also join us during the live stream. If not, we're just gonna record it and gonna post it later on. So it's already quite late, and also after the stream I still have to hang up some really beautiful paintings. Today I get some very great frames, so I can finally hang up 4 beautiful paintings of my Shifu, Ren Zhongquan. He's a great artist and also a very good master. And if you want to know more about the teachings, welcome to write me emails or private messages. I would like to thank every one of you, all the Daoist brothers and friends from all around the world who watch this. I get tons of feedback, a lot of comments, and a lot of mails as a like on Facebook Messenger. And I would still love to have more people asking questions. Yeah, if you want to know anything about Daoism, Daoist practice, Daoist lifestyle, please welcome. Tsibei. Yeah, I'm very happy if I am able to answer your questions. If not, I'm gonna ask some of the big masters in China, and if it's something special, we're gonna figure it out together. So yeah, about the last few days, the Daoist Dao live talks. I was talking a lot about the practices, the cultivation yesterday in the stream. If you didn't watch it, you're welcome to rewatch it. We saved it on the profile. If you're gonna go on my profile, you're gonna find it. And tomorrow on Sunday, I'm gonna upload all the past weeks live streams on the YouTube channel. So if you find us on YouTube, you're gonna find the whole week on live streams. So today we're gonna talk more about the normal daily Daoist lifestyle, the Daoist life every day. A lot of things to do. People tend to think we just sit around, drink tea all day. If it's a Daoist monk or something, you just drink tea like I do, always in front of the camera. But yes, I'm very fortunate. We have a tea house here, and I'm drinking in the moment the Baya Chilan. I don't want to make any advertisement, but Baya Chilan is in the moment. I really like this tea. It's a kind of roasted oolong. So if you want to try it, you're welcome. I drink tea with all my students and all my Daoist friends every day. So tea is a very big thing for Daoists. And this is also Daoist practice. I just gonna show you a little bit if it's not too out of order. This is like the tea table. Yeah, you see there's a lot of teapots and yeah, something like this for putting the tea out. Yeah, for those who like to know more about Chinese tea, because this is not the topic of today, you could also visit the Liu Tea Art page or website. There's tons of informations. Yeah, Liu Wenjua, she's writing a lot of blogs and also teaching this Daoist or the traditional Chinese tea ceremony or Daoist tea ceremonies, and also traditional art and music, of course. This is very important. We also play music here, the Daoist music. So if people, students, Dao friends are interested in building a Daoist band, yeah, welcome to join us, because we have now about 3 or 4 people who once in a while come together and then we're gonna play music, the Daoist music. So if you're interested in learning the Daoist melodies on your instruments, yeah, if you want to learn a traditional instrument, welcome to also contact us. Yeah, we are very happy to help you. Or also you help us, because when you join the band, of course, it's much better. So yeah, back to the daily Daoist lifestyle. Many also think that as a Wudang Daoist or Wudang practitioner, yeah, because Wudang is famous for the martial arts. So there is people, even some of my long-term students, they think from morning to evening we train every day. Yeah, and this is definitely not the case, because no one gonna do that. Yeah, we have a lot of work to do. We need to make firewood, we need to cook, we need to wash clothes, we need to clean, and it's all day work. Basically, it's I always need to laugh, because this is basically what people think of Daoist. They just get up and practice standing all day long. Yeah. To start with this, to give you this information, I start with the most important part. Yeah. So the real training is like internal practice. If I say martial art training, I mean like internal martial arts. So whatever martial art we practice after the sun goes down. So the evening, when the yin qi, the yin energy is getting up and rising to its peak. So the best time for training is between 7 and 11 o'clock. And after 11 o'clock in the night, in the evening, there is meditation or standing practice is most beneficial. So yesterday I was talking a lot about the cultivation and practice, also about meditation and especially the standing practice. So if you're interested in hearing more about this, welcome again to watch the stream from yesterday. But yeah, when we get up in the temple, like also here, of course, this is Yuzhengguan, and when we get up, we basically do the morning ceremony. Morning ceremony between 5 and 7 is the time. Some places they do it a little bit earlier, some places they do it a little bit later. I've stayed in the Taizi Dong at the Wudangshan for quite a while. There we start at 4:30, so very early. Yeah, and at 4 o'clock, the Shifu, the Lao Shifu, Lao Yeze, the Jiaye, people call him Jiaye, yeah, we call him Shifu, is already up when we enter the cave to make the ritual, and he is already writing a lot. You see, he already write 5 pages of Xinde, yeah, of his teachings, right down. So just a side information: all his disciples, all his students, really by shit these deeds have books of his handwritings, because this is what he passed down to his next generation. Yeah, Jiaye, the B Daoist, if some of you know who I'm talking about. So there, the life is really, really hard and really, really different. Yeah, there is not even one rice corn fall on the floor, and if it's dropped, we still pick it up and eat it, because it's really hard on the mountain, and there is not much food. So if you cannot eat that bitter, the dirty rice corn, yeah, then maybe that's not the right place for you. But just for your information, yeah, there is a lot of good benefits to staying in the mountain. Yeah, and also usually after the morning ceremony, yeah, maybe drink some water and then cleaning time. Yeah, cleaning your room, cleaning the temple, cleaning the yard, and a lot of brooming involved. Yeah, brooming is not like a punishment or something. It's a very good practice. So I always recommend when you go into a temple, you just get a get a broom and sweep the floor, because that's very good practice. Yeah? If you want to make it too perfect, you will never understand the practice. So brooming is because we broom, not because we want to clean. Yeah, the brooming of the yard is very, very important practice for me. For me and for my experience, it is one of the most important practices. The work practices, of course. Yeah, and then also cooking, making breakfast. Yeah, usually there's like, for example, if there's firewood to make fire, yeah, you need to make the fire, and then you can start cooking. And like we have here, we have a normal electric oven. We can just open the oven and cook on there. Yeah, then mostly is zhou and some simple cai, like zhou is the rice stew in English, I think. And then you have like simple vegetable dishes usually. And yeah, that's like until breakfast you already have like 3 hours of activities in the Daoist life in the temple. Okay, what I'm talking is in the temple. There's also differences when you are Sujadise or at home practicing Daoshi or disciple. Yeah, the worldly life. It doesn't mean that if you want to be a Taoist, you need to be a monk or anything. It's not that. A lot of students who want to become a disciple ask me this question: do they have to become a monk or live in the temple? It's not the case. If you are interested in Taoist practices, yeah, there is certain practices everybody can learn in the classes, in the workshops, but then there is also the teachings is only internal of the lineage, or only from master to students. So there is a fine line between those two teachings. Yeah, but usually everybody is welcome to become a Rumendidze, a disciple. Yeah, it is not necessary to leave your family behind or do anything out of your daily normal life if you're in a work environment or anything. You know, it's just that you join a big family of Taoist practitioner. The disciple gets a Taoist name, which he can say wherever a Taoist temple is, and people gonna recognize the generation and recognize the title. So people gonna accept this person also as one of theirs. So wherever I go, yeah, people ask, okay, what lineage or what school, and they will always recognize. Yeah, and then you have always a place to stay. This is what it's about, to have a big family, and then you have a big community or network. Yeah, I get today somebody asked me about the connection of the Sanshan Dixue Pai, and many of you don't know also I represent the lineage of the Zhengyi branch, and yeah, this is something only my disciple know, because this is a practice I never publicly talk about too much, because this is some esoteric practices and not for everybody's ears. But Zhengyi Pai, in my experience, the teachings of my Shifu Ke Wuming Daozhang is those who really show me that this esoteric practices is working. Yeah, like talisman, like the healing, like Shenqi, like the Shenyi, and yeah, see, I talked too much about this already. But if you're interested in this, you're also welcome to visit me, and we can discuss this in person, yeah, in private. And yeah, so the daily Daoist lifestyle is a lot of work, and before noon you have maybe some time to study. Usually I'm teaching during 10 to 11, 12 o'clock, also morning classes. If there is no classes for me in the moment, I study or I take care of some work. There's a lot of work I do every day. Yeah, hang up paintings is only one thing. Yeah, and yeah, a lot of things to do. Also, I have to manage the online shop, Dao shop. And this also takes a lot of time, yeah, because as a Daoist, as a martial art teacher, there is no much income in this. Yeah, we live from a lot of, like the Daoist temple lives from a lot of donations or from the Daoist products we produce and people buy from the online shop. So if you want to support the Yuzhenguan, the Wudang temple in Germany, or the Wudang temples, the Wudang Pai Germany or the German Daoist Association, you can, and you don't want just give something away for nothing, you can just buy any Daoist product in the shop, and all the money, just deduct the cost, because some things have costs, of course, yeah, goes directly to the temple and to all the work we do with this. Like, for example, printing books. If people visit us, yeah, like in any temple in China, you're gonna enter the entrance and there's a lot of books. Yeah, I'm giving away all the books I write. This is a very normal procedure. So when people visit us, and they're interested in the Daoist philosophy, or they never read the Lao Tzu Dao De Jing, yeah, then they take one with them. And yeah, and this is the daily life of a Daoist. Yeah, I'm translating books. In the moment we translate the Dao De Jing into English language, and also we started with the other books I wrote, translating into English language, also Spanish and Italian language. In the moment there is a lot of Italian friends, Dao friends, also contacted me, and they wanted to have some information when my book's gonna be published in Italian language. Yeah, so this is a lot of work I do in the moment. But for example, when I live in the temple in China, there is a lot of other work to do. You have to clean, you have to move books, you have to take care of the garbage. Once in a week there is toilet cleaning time, and who is just like hiding when there's called toilet cleaning time, then they're in the wrong area, then they're in the wrong job. You need to accept the tasks you get. And I had some students, they work for like I don't remember, but like a modern slavery company, like something like Zolando or Amazon, where you have, sorry if I say this, yeah, I hope nobody say anything against it or sue me, yeah, but they had a really hard time working there, because there's a lot of work stress and nobody is really care about them at all. They are just like robots, and they were really unhappy working there. So I say, in the moment, yeah, you just work there. It's a temporary thing and a situation where you can take a lot of benefits out of, which means if you like give up in this, how can you reach or become one with Dao? The way to Dao, the way to become immortal is 100,000 times more difficult and more bitter eating. So you have to accept everything what comes across. So we don't want to have or we don't see things as difficult. We just accept them and just continue. At one point the problem is solved. At one point the job is done. So also a very good sentence is we don't want to solve temporary issues with permanent solutions. Yeah, so we have a temporary issue, we just work on it, and then it's done. It's like a cloud. Tomorrow or in one moment the cloud is past, and some of the problems, they just gone when we wake up the next day. So we don't take things too seriously. We try to always have a happy and yeah, happy and jokey heart. Like if you cannot laugh about yourself, why what is the meaning of life anyway, right? So when you take your practice too serious or your life too serious, then there is no happiness, and there's always only like seriousness. When I teach kung fu or when I teach things, it's serious, definitely, but you always have to have a joke on your lips or have to have a smile on your face. You know, it is very important to easy, step by step learn the things. You know, everybody can learn it. It just takes time. Yeah, I have one student, he learns so quick, he just pick up everything so quick, like a natural potential in there, you know. And then there are some students, they just take a long time to learn some things, to learn some simple moves. But this is, you can see, like whenever, for example, these two train together, I love to see that because the one is always supporting the other one, and because he's supporting the other one, he also becomes more humble, you know. So this is like Sabe, okay, this is like very interesting to see. Also, it's a very natural like balancing, and it is very important to have a balanced life. You need to have a good rest time, you need to have a good eating time. Don't watch phone, or there's nothing what I want to tell you you have to do, but if you eat and concentrate on something else, you know, then the eating is just a side thing, and you should also enjoy the good food. If you don't like food, of course, maybe you shouldn't eat. But if you see this food also as something given by the heaven or given by the gods, yeah, because somebody worked for this, somebody grow the food, and somebody bring it on your table. Maybe your mom cooked for you, and this is something she used her time and her love for. The farmer used time and love to grow the crops. So if you just don't respect this, you know, what can you respect? So this is what I teach my students. When you eat, try to eat with attention on the food. Try to respect where the food comes from and who cooked the food, you know. It's not necessary to become a vegetarian or vegan, you know. This is also like an idea a lot of people have. I've seen a lot of vegetarian Daoists, but most of the Daoists, they eat meat outside of the temple because it's just also a good nutrition for people. So if you don't like to hear this, yeah, then you need to go to see it by yourself, you know. People like, especially in the West, when they never visit China or never visit the temples by themselves, they try to have this idea of Taoist or Buddhist must be a vegetarian. Even the Buddhist lineage of Dalai Lama, they normally don't eat meat. They normally eat meat. But because, and this is what he even said by himself, the Dalai Lama, if you know who this is, from the Buddhist lineage in the Himalaya, yeah, and he just don't eat meat because it's bad for the image, you know. And of course, Taoists have a fasting period. Also, we do fasting here every year, and also we have times when you, for example, are sick. You need to eat some food. Food is can make you sick, but it also can make you healthy. If you eat crappy food, then you always get problems with your body. But if you eat healthy, eat good food, you will have a good and healthy body. And this is important. What you eat, what you feed your body is gonna stay. And if it's good stuff, you're gonna be healthy. If it's bad stuff, you're gonna end up with a diarrhea or anything, you know. So yeah, but back to the daily life. When we like the normal day tasks, yeah, doesn't usually have the noon or the noon ceremony like the Sangwanjing, yeah, but we do it here on unregular basis. Like for example, there's a festival or there's a special date, If you're interested in this, in the dates or in the calendar, I have prepared the calendar, the Daoist festival calendar for the whole next year. So if you go on our website, the Wudang Pi, wu-dang-pi.de, you'll find events, and on the right side there's a Daoist calendar, and those dates are like Daoist festivals. And usually on those festivals we do morning ceremony, morning rituals, noon, afternoon, and evening. So there is 4 ceremonies on the Daoist festivals, and usually when there is no festival, we do studies during the noontime, after lunch, resting time for the students. Maybe some of them, they need to do some work or whatever. But usually in the afternoon we have also classes, like we teach Chinese, we have Chinese classes, we have Dao study classes now, and then also in the evening the martial art classes and the health classes, like Qigong class and meditation class. Once in a week we have an open class for meditation, and on Wednesdays, if you're interested, if you're watching this and you come from this area, so you're welcome also to join the classes. And yeah, then the evening we usually do our practice, like after the normal class, the regular class students go, we do our practice, and this involves a lot of standing, a lot of basics, and usually also, like for example in the temple in Wudang, people during the daytime they just have too much work to do, because there's new temple building, and then carrying stones from here to there, and building things and cleaning things, and doing a lot of things. But in the evening, when every other work is done, you can train, or we can train. And those who just do the must do, they will not progress very good. But then there's these few people, they just train until night, and all other people already gone, but they still doing their thing, and this is the difference. And this is basically one normal day. But again, this is just my regular day, or in the moment when I'm teaching, I teach a lot of things. I do the live streams, and I'm very happy about a lot of people watch it, and I get only very good feedback. So I'm gonna continue with this, because I have the feeling it's a beneficial thing for everyone, for me, for you, for the audience, for all the Dao brothers around the world. I'm going to introduce more and more about the Daoist practices, more about the Daoist lifestyle, about the Daoist cultivation, and of course history, everything. If you have any questions about anything related to Daoism or martial arts, internal martial arts, Wudang Kung Fu, you're welcome to ask questions. If you have questions about my books or anything, you're welcome to write me a message, write me a letter, write me an email, or even come and visit the website. Have our address, our telephone number. Please give us a call if you want to, or any kind of contact is welcome. So it's getting really late, and I still have some things to do before I go practice for myself. And maybe I should mention this. Just a few people know but my students, they all know it. I only practice in the night, so my practice ends at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and then I do my meditation. And like usually from 2 to 5 I do a meditation, and that's my sleep. So I don't sleep, I just practice meditation usually. And also one of the audience, one of my Dao friends, Lily, she asked me about if I can teach or also another person asked me from the messages, asked me to teach a little bit about the sleeping meditation, sleeping practice. I'm going to do this next week because I want to take the camera upstairs to the training hall. There's mats, and I can teach there but I'm going to have to set up the stand over there, so we're gonna do it maybe on Monday. Yeah, so if you can be patient, I'm going to teach some nice sleeping meditation on Monday, and we can all do live Dao Talk sleeping together. Okay, so until then, I wish you a very good day or good night wherever you are. You're welcome to join us anytime, anywhere. So 慈悲慈悲，福生无量，天尊。